So I'm going to talk a little bit about social media and some basic do's and don'ts of social media, as well as how to utilize it effectively. In 2016, it's basically become our way of communicating. It's on a constant uprise and has evolved into a central communication strategy for individuals, companies, and organizations. Being social media savvy in today's world can have both its benefits and its downfalls, depending on how you utilize it. In order to utilize social media to your company or your personal advantage, you need to learn how to behave appropriately and with proper etiquette. You have the ability to make some really good connections and for both your professional and your personal growth if you act appropriately while online. Some basic sites that I'm talking about would be things like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. They all have become a major source of communication. They all are basically being able to network and to build meaningful relationships, to maintain relationships that you may not be able to do if a person lives far away or etc., and to stay updated on current trends and topics. So, some of the basic goals of social media: you want to display yourself in the best way possible. It's important that people are mature and learn how to engage socially and appropriately while displaying themselves online. I think a personal example that I can share would be something that happened to me somewhat recently. I am a nurse and I work in a major Boston public city hospital, and we recently had a high-profile patient that was on our floor, and one of my coworkers actually tweeted out about the patient on a public account and as well as their health status, and that they were actually in the hospital. Not only was this a huge HIPAA violation, obviously, but the employee was terminated, and I am no longer allowed to carry a cell phone while I am at work. Actually, I can't have a cell phone on me while I'm at work for the entirety of my day. And if I do have a cell phone on me, it's taken away. So this is just one of the many ways social media could be actually very harmful and people aren't acting appropriately. So in the journal Database Marketing and Customer Strategy Management, Matt Ramsey discusses some popular brands such as Toyota, Dell, and Domino's, and how they all suffered from a social media disaster when people were tweeting out about problems with their products and making really negative remarks about these companies and organizations. And the interesting part to me was that most of these companies recovered completely because of the way that they responded on social media appropriately by trying to find ways around the issue and to remedy the situation. So this would be an example of how to utilize social media to your advantage by acknowledging that there was a problem and then, instead of being negative about it, trying to fix it. Their prompt response stopped a huge possible social media disaster. So we really want to stick to some basic do's and don'ts of social media. We want to post things that are informative and interesting, engaging, and we don't want to post anything that's like gossipy or personal attack on somebody else. We want to post on informative or current research and reflections. We want to avoid posting photos of people without their permission, which is huge. We want to keep captions on photos appropriate and avoid posting links without vague descriptions that could easily be misinterpreted. Another huge thing with social media nowadays is safety. People are constantly checking in locations or posting pictures of something very expensive that they recently purchased, or tweeting about where they are or a vacation they're about to take. This has a huge potential to be a personal safety issue. You want to keep it simple. You don't want to post more than people need to know. Especially when it comes to your personal life, because there's hackers and scammers and stalkers. They can all take this information and use it against you. The most important thing to remember is to be cautious of everything that you post online, and remember that everybody can see where you are, who you are, what you're doing, and to maintain your safety and to act appropriately while engaging online. At this time, I'm going to turn things over to Charita, who's going to give some guidelines on the appropriate etiquette while using cell phones, texting, and instant messaging. Thanks.